Namaste, Prash, and welcome back again. And
Yes, Prashant.
today we are taking forward from where we left it last time. We spoke about a little bit about what is Vedic, and in the second interview, we spoke about the Vedic way of learning and how the Vedic way of learning is different from the modern way of learning and the
Yeah.
Gurukul system, the ancient Gurukul system that you spoke about,
Yes,
which is the
yes,
Vedic way.
yes.
And so today, let's take
The modern classroom,
the modern
the
classroom.
modern classroom versus the ancient Gurukul. Okay,
Right.
so that is the two things that, like, there's a big contrast and a big difference between them, and we went through that by starting with the chairs and stuff. Like how
Yes.
they have chairs and the other people sit down on the ground,
Right.
and like how is the posture different? How does that make the posture different? Because sitting on a chair you can only sit in certain posture, and
Right.
when you're sitting on the ground, the posture is more humble.
True.
Then what is the term called down to earth?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
like what is considered a good quality? Like if somebody's down to earth, and if you're being down to earth, that is considered a good quality.
Right.
So people, for any kind of learning, that down to earthness
Yes.
is required, and
True.
which is not given any kind of credence in today's modern learning in classroom. You can already be on your high horse right now,
Yeah.
and then learn, and
Yes.
then try to learn, but
Yeah.
you can't be on a high horse and then try to learn. Like you have to be down to earth,
Right.
and then that down to earth quality
Right.
is most important in
True.
terms of actually, but most people right now are like sort of focused on not being down to earth, and the whole focus in society and the way the media and everything is to take people away from down to earthness.
True.
So that is the general situation right now. Yeah.
Right. So we did speak about a lot of all this and why it's important for the person who's receiving knowledge to be grounded, to be sitting
Yeah.
on the floor, and to be having that attitude. So
Yeah,
today
attitude.
let's talk about the right attitude that we need to have for learning.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you could
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about that, moving forward from where we left it last time.
Yes. The attitude thing is very like important word, because again, like down to earth is also an attitude, right? When you're
Yes.
down to earth, it's a certain kind of attitude. It keeps you like humble,
Yeah.
and it keeps you not so like quick. Like you don't want results so fast.
True.
You not like you are like, oh, like within each minute or each hour or each half an hour you want something quickly,
Right.
some information fast,
Right.
and it's not like that. So the whole attitude in learning is that you are always open and receptive
Yeah.
without being hurried. Okay, you don't have a bratty hurried attitude. Oh, I want this right now, I want this information right now, I
The
want this,
instant
like,
gratification.
yeah, like instant, like I want it right now, like this,
Right.
just
Yeah.
just now. And right now, like the information junkies have that kind of attitude right now all over. So like around the world you can see.
Yeah,
So
because
they
we
have,
live in a fast food age. Everything is fast and right now. We
yes,
can't wait for the food to be cooked. We want
yes,
it fast.
yes,
So,
yeah. So the point is, like, in that kind of thing, then but knowledge and learning
yeah,
is even more than food,
yes,
and it will take much more time. Okay, it's not
it's
gonna
it.
happen like that. And not to get like discouraged quickly. Like, people get, if they don't get, the things don't go their way,
Right,
then get discouraged very fast these days. Okay,
right,
like they don't have the ability to persevere,
yes,
like the perseverance.
right,
Okay, so the attitude of perseverance is a very important attitude.
right,
Like, if things are not happening immediately, you have to have the attitude to be able to persevere, and to have this thing that if I keep on doing the right thing,
mm,
the thing will happen, and I
right,
will get that thing. And to not be afraid of the hard work in terms of repetition, or understand, if you don't understand a principle, to be able to repeat something until you get it. Okay, all these things come under learning attitude, and in which you don't need encouragement from others. Okay, when
right.
you are actually having a learning attitude, proper learning attitude, you should not need,
Self-motivated.
yeah, you should not need encouragement from outside, or the
Right,
teacher,
right,
or anything,
right,
to actually learn.
right,
If you need that, that means your attitude is not there for learning. You yourself are not focused on learning, where
right,
you need external inputs of encouragement or doses of that.
right,
So that means the thing is not coming from within. Okay, so learning is that thing first for learning, you have to know that first that you don't know something. Okay.
Yes.
Then if you don't know something, then you would want to know that or learn that. Okay.
Right.
So a lot of
Right.
times people right now have attitude, they know everything.
Yes.
Okay. So if
Yes.
they know everything, then what is there to learn anyways?
Right.
Okay. So then you can't
True.
have a learning attitude like that. Okay.
Yes.
So like right now, people, if they get enough money in this world, or if they get enough things in this world or whatever, they think that they have made it. They've made
Right.
it now. Okay. So now what is the need to, like, they know how to exist in this world, how to carry on in this world, and what to do. So that much is enough for them. So
Right.
again, that kind of thing takes away learning attitude, because there's so many things they don't know. They don't
Right.
know what to do after death. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what disease can strike them, or
Right.
any people don't know a lot of things
Right.
at that time. Okay, but like they still give themselves a false illusion that they know
Yes.
enough. Okay, at any given point, and that is a big hurdle in the learning attitude. Okay.
Right.
And
Right.
so again, which creates a lack of humility, and a
True.
lack of internal quest for learning, like, because
Right.
you have to have an internal quest. Oh, I don't know this, I still don't know this, you
Right.
know. Then
Right.
only can you actually, like, sort of learn. Like, if you don't have that, you can't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, true. You're so
So
right, because in the modern system, parents have to keep pushing their children. So that
yes.
self-motivation is somewhere just not there. And
Yes.
it's just always you're waiting for somebody to come and, children are waiting for them to be scolded. The
Yeah.
mother will come and scold, and then you'll start studying. So that is, it just
Yeah, but
creates
that
wrong
yeah, but that is
attitude.
about studying. That's not about learning.
Learning.
Studying
Yeah,
is
true.
not the same as learning. Okay,
Learning.
so the school system is not there for learning anything. That is
Right.
just to, like, you cram
Cram
something
up.
up and you
Yeah.
give up in the exam and that thing. So I mean, that is not a proper. And if people are, it is actually to take away all of your learning potential. School uh,
Yeah,
is
actually.
designed to take away all of your actual learning potential. So you,
True.
like, whatever learning kind of feeling you had, or seed
It's
inside
just
you,
kind of, yeah.
yeah, when you were young, 4 5 6 years old, like 7 years old, then
Yes.
just to take that out by the time you're 16 17 18, all of that is taken
So
out of
true.
you, and
Yeah.
you don't care about learning anymore. Actually, it
Yeah,
becomes a bad word.
because all the marks and everything becomes directly correlated to how much
Yeah.
cramming capacity you have.
Yes, 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 obviously. And like, in learning there are no marks actually, really. Like, in real
Yeah,
learning, there is
there's no
no
exactly. Yeah,
there's no such thing as marks or anything like that.
yeah.
It's actually whether you learn something, or you know something now, or you don't. Okay, there
Yeah,
is
it's a
no,
self-gratifying exercise
yeah,
when you learn.
exercise. And it's a clear thing. It's 0 and 1. It's either you know or you don't. Like, there's
Right,
no in between.
right,
Okay,
right.
it's not like 40% now, 60%, or okay, it's not
Yes,
like that. Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
so it is a thing where people have to first find that spark within themselves, whether they don't know.
Mm,
Okay, and they
mm,
don't know enough. And obviously, people right now, of this day and age right now, there's not enough knowledge anyways. There's a lot of ignorance pretty
right,
much all around the world. Most people don't know anything.
right.
What is going to happen after death? What is nothing is actually known. Okay,
Yes, yes,
like, so
yes,
there is so much more to know actually than
yes.
what people actually know. Like, so there is a whole lot more, but what is missing
Yeah,
is the learning attitude. So
right.
that is, yeah, yeah, yeah,
But it is so sad that the system, that the education system that we have currently, it
yes,
just kind of almost demotivates the child from the learning process. You so rightly said that.
yeah,
And especially when you go for these parent teacher meetings, and the way your child is evaluated by people,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then labels are put on the child, that this
yeah,
person is, this child cannot do anything, does
yeah,
not have that attitude,
yeah,
just because of certain marks.
yeah.
And that dampens the spirit so badly that,
Obviously, because, but all of that has nothing to do with learning anyways. So all of
yes,
that process has nothing to do with learning anyway. So learning never comes in the picture. Okay,
yeah,
so that is just to make everyone feel better. Like, schools are there so that kids will be away from the parents.
true,
Okay, so
yeah,
parents don't have any responsibility. Like, you
right,
can
of
throw them out
teaching,
there
yeah.
for 9 hours. You don't have to worry about them.
Right,
Okay,
right,
okay, like, and okay, and then after that, like what is going to happen, that they think that somehow they will make them somehow members of society, that they
yeah,
will be able to function in society in some way or the other if they go to school.
right,
That's the whole point, and they'll be able to earn a living
right,
at the end of it.
Right.
That is what is there in the mind. It's nothing to do with learning. You know,
Yes. So
learning
true.
is very different from fitting into society or earning money or anything to do with any of these things. So,
Right.
so learning is a totally personal quest
Yes.
for personal answers. And the
Right.
Vedic thing was about that. It was nothing to do with how you're going to fit into society, how you're going to make your living, or any of these things. That didn't come under the purview
Right.
of learning. Learning is about your own self. I mean, most people don't even know enough about their body right now, their own body.
Yes.
So people go through 12 years of schooling or 13 years of schooling, and they don't know anything about their own body,
Right.
what to do with it. So that's the situation. So so that
Right.
so that is a big problem. Like, people don't understand that that is not learning. That doesn't qualify as any kind
As
of learning. Like, so
true.
so
True.
yeah, it's
So
a
Anima,
waste of time. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So besides that system that we are part of right
yeah,
now, it
yeah.
is our own personal initiative that we have to take to
Yes,
understand
yes,
and
yes,
have
yes,
that fire within to
yes, yes.
acquire the knowledge.
Yes. That's exactly, and that's when the whole Vedic way will come into play.
Right.
Okay, only when you have that from within,
Yeah.
then only the Vedic things can teach you things,
Right.
and the learning and that thing process will start.
Right.
Okay, like if you don't have that inside you, and if you already think that you know,
Yes.
then obviously Vedic has nothing for you. I mean that way. That's exactly like how a person goes to a doctor. Why do
Yes.
they go to the doctor?
Right.
Because they get some disease or something. They have some problem, and
True.
now they think they don't know enough about it.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
to cure themselves. Okay, so that's when they'll go to a doctor, right?
Right.
Okay, because they think that they know something more,
Yes.
which can help me right now, or anything. So
Right.
so the whole point is that whether you want to know something. So,
Right.
like, you really want to know about yourself, or why you're here, or what is going to happen to you, your spirit, what is this life, what is this body for. If you have
Yeah.
these kind of questions, then Vedic can show you a way, but you have to have that first. Okay,
True.
so
True.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so before you get any disease or anything, like, or before you have to actually, even after you get a disease, you can still go to a Ayurvedic thing instead of a
Yes.
modern allopathic thing. You can
Absolutely.
go there, and through that you can learn what
The element.
holistic healing is,
Yeah.
without poisons and needles and operations and all of that. Like, so
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's all about then kind of balancing the elements in the body.
Yes.
Understanding.
That is the
Yeah.
physical thing is that,
Yeah.
but the whole mental attitude we were talking about.
Mental
Mental
attitude.
attitude has to be like I want to learn. So
Yes.
it's not like if I have a disease, then I just want somebody to give me something and I get cured, and that's it. I don't want to learn anything. Why
Right.
that happened to me in the first place.
Yeah. We're just learning about the elements and about
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
body is about. So Ayurveda would give that knowledge.
yeah. Or even when a disease happens to me, why did that happen to me?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or what is the thing? It's not just like I'll take some medicine and then it'll go away and then I want to forget about it. Okay.
True. True.
Okay, so that'll be a non-learning attitude, right?
Right.
Again, okay, but
So would,
yeah,
would you say that observation is also a very important,
yeah, yeah,
tool that everybody should inculcate, which is
yeah.
first to observe the body, observe
And
the mind,
observe everything.
observe nature.
You have been given all these senses
Yes.
for a reason. You
Yeah.
have been given eyes to observe. You have been
Right.
given. Otherwise, you won't have these organs.
Right.
If you were not meant to observe. Okay,
True.
okay.
That's what I was thinking.
So
I said all of us spend so much time in just talking and
yeah,
and much lesser time in observing things. Even
observing.
our
Yes,
own body tells us so much when you just
yes,
observe it in a
yes,
kind of a dispassionate way.
yes,
It
yes.
does give you information.
Yes. Obviously, for that you have to have observation, and you have to have like a attention span.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Now, attention span has been reducing and reducing because of the how the images are put in the media and stuff in front of
Right.
people.
Right.
So people's attention span is under attack. So people don't
True.
have much. And for observing, you need attention span. Like, you should be able to put focus or attention on a thing for a extended period of time. You
Yes.
know, yeah,
Yes.
without getting distracted. You know.
Right. Right.
So that is again a big problem. But again, for that, depends on how much fire you have for learning. You know,
True.
so people who have to sit down in a proper posture and then listen properly or pay attention to the what is being told and taught, and
Right.
that thing, to
Right.
even take that in and to maintain the focus the whole time requires a degree of focus.
Yeah.
And that thing.
So the
And that has to,
Shravana, the
yeah,
Shravana
Shravana,
aspect.
yeah, and all of that has to be, you have to practice it and increase it. So from a young age, 4, 5, 6, 7 onwards, all of that should be increasing. To the point when you are 17, 18, 19, you already have a lot of focus and
Right.
attention.
Right.
Training. Okay, so physical training, posture training, then mental focus, that thing training, all of that should be there in those 10, 12 years for
Right.
people, for a person to actually get to a stage where they can actually learn things when they
Right.
want to. Okay,
Right.
and when they, so, and with the right attitude. Okay,
Right.
without going crazy or without acting like a brat. Mostly kids turn into brats these days. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
and then that bratish attitude is the very opposite of learning attitude. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
if this is
True.
learning attitude, then this is bratty attitude. Okay, there is
Yeah.
no meeting point between the
True.
two. Okay,
True.
so,
Absolutely.
so yeah.
So how do you think we should inculcate this in the new generation, especially
Yeah,
this
new
kind of
generation, I think, will have questions.
yeah.
They already automatically will have questions. The young
Right.
people, like, they'll have questions,
Right.
and then when they ask those questions, then they should be told that they should try and find the answer. Like, if they ask the question, then you should say, okay, if you have that question, try and find out the answer yourself.
Yourself. Okay.
Yeah, try to find it or find the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Not to spoon feed them the
Yes.
answer, or just or like say no, like, this is not important. Like,
Right.
better
Right.
study and get grades and get to
Right. Right.
like, neither of those attitudes are right. Like, neither of those ways are good for them. Like, if they're having something, like, you should say, yeah, try and find out. Like, yeah, if you have this question, you should try and find that out. Like, like,
Right.
so give them that thing where they try to, like, it becomes like a game for them, like, to find that thing out. And so then they will actually move towards it with self-interest, with
Right.
without you pushing
Yes.
them towards it or anything like that. It'll happen automatically. So
Right.
yeah. So
I think more and more youth are already feeling this kind of a feeling that they're getting it already now. That
yes,
what are we pursuing? That disenchantment with the
disenchantment. Yes.
education system,
Yeah.
and I mean, just understanding that you didn't learn anything much in school. When you're
Yes.
out into the real world, you realize that school didn't teach you anything much.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
that feeling comes that what is this education system all about, this current education system?
Yeah, it's not education. Yeah, it doesn't it's, I told you, it's not a learning or a knowledge system. It's
Yes.
just it's just a system to somehow make you fit into society.
Yes.
That's all.
Right.
Like, because when you are in school, you are just fitting into that school system. If you are able to fit into the school system, then you can fit into the college system. If you fit into the college system, you'll fit into the industry, corporate system, any
True.
kind of.
True.
So
Exactly.
it's just training you
It's all very
in that.
factory set kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be sitting in that little chairs at school,
Yeah.
and then little bigger chairs in the uni, and then you go to a job, you'll be sitting in a bigger chair. Okay, so your
Right.
chair will keep on that thing, and that's all. It's nothing to do with learning or anything, and you will not know anything about yourself or what is happening to you. What are you here for? What is going to happen to you after death? Nothing
Right.
you will know, like,
Right.
at all, going
Right.
through that whole process. And that's why people, even right now, if they retire, they're 70, 60, 70 or whatever, they don't know anything either. After
Yes.
that age, people can be 80 right now, 90, they still don't know a single thing about death or
Right.
what's going to happen afterwards. They have no knowledge of that, even when they come so close to that, because they are not very far from that
Yes.
event,
So true. So
but they
true.
still have no idea about that event. So their preparation for that is zero. Like, like, it's like a journey. Like, like, even if people go for a little journey, then they pack their bags and do everything and get everything sorted and ready. But the
Right.
big journey, like after death and all of that, nobody's prepared for that journey. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
No one has any preparation
True.
for
Absolutely.
for that big journey. Okay, like, that is totally avoided. So, I mean, there are some realities which are not even faced.
Yeah.
Like, people tell their kids to not face death. If the kids talk about death, if they see someone dying, they'll say, like, oh, what is this? Then they will say, oh, nothing, nothing. They don't even want kids to face
Right.
these realities of this existence. Okay, which
Right.
is a very wrong thing to do. If they don't, like, you can't keep them like
Right.
sheltered from those facts or truths.
True.
For how long? I mean, how long can you do that? So
Right. Very true.
I mean, at some point they'll have to face it and figure it out, so
Right.
and
Right.
and that is I mean, in Indian, that thing, it's even more to
Yes.
not
Yes. Not to talk about these things, and
things
yeah,
at
just
all,
keep it under
like
wraps for some
it's
reason.
like you
Yeah.
can't even. So
Very
so
true.
so once these things are paid attention to, that's when the Vedic will come into more limelight
Right.
compared to the current education system,
True.
because Vedic deals with actual life and death matters,
Yes.
not just frivolous, superficial
Very true.
nonsense happens in society. So
Yes.
yeah,
Like you always say that the three basic questions we need to ask is who,
yeah,
where am I, who am
yeah,
I, where am I, and
yeah,
why am I here? What am I
yeah,
supposed to do here? So
yes,
I think
yeah,
that is the quest everyone should have.
yes, obviously. And action is a thing, because without knowing, you can't be doing, right?
Yes.
Because if you do something, you have to already know what to do. Okay,
Yes.
first. So the knowing comes before doing.
Right.
And right now, doing comes before knowing for most people.
Knowing. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
people do
Yeah.
without knowing, but actually knowing should be before doing. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
so for knowing, you will have to be learning.
Yes.
How will knowing happen? I mean, you will not be born knowing. Okay,
True.
like as 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, you'll not be born knowing. At some point, you will have to learn.
Yes.
Okay, so then learning will lead to knowing, will lead to doing.
Right.
Okay, so that is the three-pronged
Very
that
true.
thing. Okay, now right now it is doing first,
Yeah.
rest later. Okay, so that is a thing which is again a wrong attitude.
Yes.
Yeah, to jump to doing straight away, it's a very problematic attitude, and you'll only suffer with that, because
True.
you'll do without knowing, and then
Yes.
there'll be negative consequences
Right.
for that. Just like if you put your hand into the plug board, and you will get the current,
Yes.
because you
Yes.
you didn't take the time to find out what that is, and what it is,
What
like what
will
it can
happen?
attach or not,
Yeah.
but you just did. you know
Yes.
so so there has to be this like a sense of like wanting to sort of know first
True. Yeah.
before doing, and that is a good starting point
Yeah,
for
you
people.
always say that, human beings are just jumping into action the minute
Yes.
they're born and
Yeah.
not having that quest for understanding why am I
Yeah.
here and where am I and who am I?
Yeah. So there is an urge for action, okay, automatically within human beings.
Yes,
Now that
yes.
urge for action has to be put into learning, because
Yes, okay, in the
because
right.
learning is also an action,
Right, yeah, yeah.
okay, but you have to have a learning action, not
That
a
is why in
doing.
the ancient Vedic system, after a few years, they were sent to the Gurukul and the learning
And
process
Gurukul also,
started.
they are mostly stopped from doing, basically. Your
It's
activities are minimized.
right, right,
Okay, as a being, you are made to sit the same place in the same way for many hours. So what
right.
is happening? Actually, your activities are being brought under control. Your body is being
Okay,
brought under control. You
right.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not out there to expend energy in a
Right.
mindless fashion.
True,
Okay,
true.
you are there to contain your energy and
Yes.
to reduce your action to the
Right,
point that you reach a level of stillness,
right.
and get to that stillness, then
Yes.
only you will be that thing.
So that body
Like,
control is taught
yeah.
from day one when you enter the Gurukul,
Yes, obviously,
which is
and
the most important thing.
which is control of your action only.
Actions, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the discipline. Now that
Right.
discipline word is a very bad word right now. Okay,
Right.
but in that, discipline is everything, and because
Yes.
discipline means your discipline of your actions only.
Right.
Okay, what else is discipline except discipline of actions, Roshan?
True.
So
True.
so we have to like have that, and that's the attitude to start with. So I
Right.
think that's a good enough points for today for people to
Okay. Okay.
start with, and sort of
Yes.
understand what will lead to the Vedic way, what
Yes.
kind of thought process, what kind of inquiry, what kind of learning attitude,
Right.
which will take people away from the education system into the Vedic learning system.
Right.
Okay. The
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah.
So fine. So we'll keep it to this much today, and
Yeah.
we'll carry on with this series of how to live the Vedic way. And
Yes.
so thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about the learning attitude that we need to have. and
Yes.
we'll take it forward from here next time. Thank you so much, Prash. Namaskar.